Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Venus and Virgo and how you can work with it to create in your reality. And this is beautiful creative energy. Venus and Virgo is a really, really good planet to manifest with because if you know anybody with a Venus and Virgo, they really know how to create out in the world. They know how to put things together. They are masters of the material. And at the same time, it's all about being very pure of heart and integrating with spirit so we can create the highest possible creations in this reality. And hi, if you don't know me, my name is Jenna. I talk about energy updates here and astrology, and I like to give you the inspiration, the codes, the higher dimensional keys, so you can tap into the, plasma and the neutrinos that are coming our way, so you can be the architect of your reality in the best way possible. And I look at the real sky here, we got to use the real as above, so below, because if we learned anything from human design, neutrinos and energies are constantly being sent our way everywhere, all the time, all at once. And it's really us to really hone in to these energies and just to be aware of them so we can create with these energies. Where the planets are going to be a little bit different than mainstream astrology because tropical astrology, for whatever reason, doesn't really use the real sky. It has been fixed in place for 2,000 years, which kind of makes it a dead system. Any system that is static, that doesn't move, will die off eventually. And, I'm just the messenger, but we have to work with the rules of the universe and the rules of God to be able to manifest in the best way possible in this reality. And I do think that system will die off eventually. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, you can use whatever system works for you. If you want to go against God, that's on you. My goal here is to look at the real sky and to kind of tune into the purest energy that is being sent our way from these signs. Because also what I learned when I got away from tropical astrology is how much the signs and the planets are based on fallen archetypes and fallen deities that aren't, necessarily from that Christ consciousness, from the Christic symphonies of the universe. So I like to try to, my whole goal is to get the distortions out of astrology so we can work with the purest energy possible. And then also realize that we are the architects of our reality. Ultimately, the power is always within us. We won't be able to manifest our reality in the best way possible if we're not recognizing that it starts from within. It starts with our consciousness, our connection to God, our connection to our higher self, to be able to be in the best flow in this universe. And also recognizing that these energies are massively evolving. We are all, like, the solar system is going up in consciousness. We are all kind of raising into a higher frequency. Earth isn't the only one. We're taking the sun and Venus and all with us. And, who knows what 3i Atlas is doing? Oh, here it is. We know exactly what it's doing. But yeah, it did just go by Mars. Or wait a second, it's not here anymore. They pulled a NASA on us. So yeah, 3i Atlas went, by Mars. And, if you don't know about 3i Atlas, you can look at Stephen Burns' channel. But basically, it is an interstellar object. And they don't really think it's a comet anymore because it doesn't have a tail. It is literally just something's in the center, and then it's a massive ball of plasma that is the size of half the size of our sun. And it basically just touched Mars. It was very, very close to Mars. and it's in the constellation of Virgo, and it's going to be going by Venus. So I kind of noticed a masculine upgrade right away, actually, because I think these higher dimensional, because it came from the center of our galaxy, so it's bringing higher consciousness, higher awareness, and personally, I think it's upgrading, all the planets that it's going by, which it's going by Mars, it's going by Venus, it's going to be directly behind the sun. If you haven't looked into this, people it's an anomaly. And I personally do think it is a higher intelligence, or, being directed by a higher intelligence. I don't think we're going to get invaded or anything, because I think aliens are higher intelligence, and they do just want us to upgrade in general and help. I feel this as like a big boost to our consciousness. And I've noticed, masculine energy in my life kind of having an upgrade right away, like, where they would usually not really, listen, where they would kind of go back to the old way of thinking. They are opening up and they're asking questions. And also there's a lot of synchronicities with getting the right information at the right time, and just kind of, everything happening a little bit quicker in that way. So consciousness expands a lot faster. We got remembrance, but it fell on the floor. When cards fall on the floor for me, I always think it's like a lower dimensional remembrance. So remembrance from the past, possibly, that they're really feeling. Feminine energy is always way more in tune with that. And I think masculine energy is kind of getting that deeper soul remembrance. Remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with the valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. An angel of love. So I think they're really connecting to their feminine energy and recognizing what they love at that deeper soul level, and not necessarily the physical level. So let's see what else is going on with the masculine energy. My masculine energy totally upgraded because I'm doing this completely differently. And yeah, I just feel like I have to. Tenderness, true love, and compassion. So yeah, they're just feeling a little bit softer. They're feeling the appreciation for the feminine energy, and prioritizing love, where they normally wouldn't, prioritize love and connection and relationships and all the things that the soul really cares about. Bee and golden egg. So yeah, they're definitely the golden egg. There's a new beginning happening, and I'm going to read out of the book with this. A seed that's being planted, and I think this is kind of what it like three-eye atlas kind of looks like, but it's green, but this is kind of like, just a glowy ball. But a seed has definitely been planted, and it's definitely about being more sensitive to who they feel more resonant with and who they're not resonating with. But I also kind of see this as a vibrational upgrade with whoever they are around. But there's a new perspective that they're really getting with love. And that's definitely a priority. So seeds being planted with love, and a completely different perspective that they haven't really had before. And I think they're getting really in tune with the soul love. So let's pull for the golden egg. Or let's read the golden egg. I don't get the golden egg very often, actually. I think I've only gotten it a couple times. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, so message at the center of the heart. The unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and a time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and breathe, it is calm. Ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart. Stay open to any response you hear. Engage with the energy of the golden egg Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for way too long. Listen to the message they've been wanting to tell you. Yeah. Wow. So lots of love, lots of soulful remembrance. I was going to pull these later, but, I just thought might as well, I'm just like kind of flowing with things right now. So let's talk about Venus and Virgo. So Venus is love, beauty, money, the things that we value. So we're going to be able to really tune into the things that we value. And we're going to be able to go through a cleansing with them too, because Venus or Virgo energy is all about the ending of cycles. This is very feminine energy. We're going to be kind of going within, and we already have mentally with Mercury that has gone through Virgo. So we kind of got clear with certain things. We got really maybe tuned in. Virgo energy is all about kind of our connection to the past. Actually, it's almost like the connection to the Akash. And, sometimes this is consciously or unconsciously, but this is connection to the collective memory. So we can kind of go through a purity and a transformation. Virgo energy likes to nurture the new and what's growing, but also likes to nurture the dead and what's dying. Like what is coming to an end and what can we kind of let that go in that direction. At the same time, what do we want to nurture and grow and really pay attention to that? That's why I like the sun here too, because this is our conscious awareness. This is our willpower. This is us deciding what deserves our energy and our time and our focus and what doesn't. And how can we really get aligned with that higher soulful aspect of ourselves so we can do that. And that's easier to do with Virgo energy because, especially with the sun on Spica today, because that is the 8th and 9th dimensional energies. Those are Lyran energies. Those are higher dimensional angelic beings that are more pure of heart. So we're tuning into that energy massively right now. It's also about music, beauty, art, and all of those things. So we can have major just spiritual insight and wisdom. Virgo is all about living well. It's about the celebration of life, even with cycles ending and with new cycles beginning. Sometimes that can cause a little like movement or disruption with things. But it's at the end of the day, we are alive, and it's where we can enjoy our aliveness. In the old school astrology, they say Venus and Virgo is in its detriment, but I think Venus and Virgo does really, really well. Because if you ever known a Venus and Virgo, they know how to build in the material. They really know how to pull all the pieces together. They are kind of like master manifestors, master alchemists. So they can really build in this reality, and they can build their vision that they have within them in this reality. So that is, really like the, manifestation to the highest degree possible. And it's also about purification and paying attention to the details and, kind of getting things, the betterment of things. I don't like, picking things apart, but the betterment of things for better health, better wealth, better love, just to enjoy all the good things in life to the highest extent possible. And I've been going on a little bit of a thought process. This isn't for everybody, so I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a warning there. But I've been, I've kind of watched this video with Dr. Danny thinking, Venus rules Virgo, and it really got me thinking, and mainly about this video, which I definitely recommend that you watch, is Venus possibly being the ruler of Virgo. And I wasn't like thinking that could actually be a thing until I looked at deeper into the goddesses and the mythology of things. Because, Virgo is actually the embodiment of Venus, and Venus was the ruler of Virgo for a very long time. And I'm looking back into the older astrology before the Greek times, because in this society, we think newer is better. But now, since we're awakening and we're realizing that our ancestors were probably at a higher consciousness than what we are now, and they were more connected to source and that higher intelligence, and everything from the dark ages, we were cut off from that. So those are more like man-made rules. And I wanted to look back into the Sumerian times and around then Babylonian times, even though that's when, stuff started going downhill, to kind of see what was going on. And Venus did rule Virgo in the past. And this chart kind of makes sense also, because I didn't know that Venus and Mercury switch places. Sometimes Venus is closer to the sun, other times Mercury's closer to the sun. And so therefore, this chart might make sense. And also, no shade to Libras, but I was always confused by you guys being ruled by Venus. That never made sense to me, because Venus, it's the feminine. She really decides. She has that discernment with what she wants to give her time and her energy to, and what she wants to build on. And she doesn't just hang in the middle, she that's a little disempowering to the feminine, actually. And since I switched to sidereal, this was actually the first time that I ever paid attention to Mercury going through Virgo. And Mercury doesn't do that well in Virgo. It's a little critical. It's a little all over the place and a little scattered. So I actually don't know if that is the highest expression for Mercury even. And we're going to see how well Venus does in Virgo. But, I think people with Venus and Virgo actually do really, really well, especially really, really well with creating and manifesting. Until November 16th, we're really going to massively be able to get into alignment with our everyday life, our habits and our routines, and the way we create, and getting aligned with spirit. And how do we do that? Because we're going to be majorly feeling the energy in our gut and in our mind, So what kind of makes you just zone out and kind of do the thing in a very effortless, flowy way, where you are really directly connected to source, where you're just kind of in flow with life and in your higher self, and you're a vessel for God. And then with your gut, you're going to be able to get that anxiety and even bowel movements, I guess, if something's not for you and if you're not going in the right direction. And that's how you can know, in a very, very strong way, what's for you, what's not for you. Virgo energy is very, very, very intuitive in a very visceral way. You feel it in your body. Virgo energy is service oriented. It's serving the other in a way that is just very natural to you. You're not overextending yourself or anything. You're just letting God and source flow through you so you can be of service. And that is the highest way to be in service, because, when you're connected, you're moving for the highest good of all. It's all about making the improvements. It's all about bettering things. It's about getting organized. It's about throwing stuff away. But now, since we probably threw a decent amount away with Mars and Mercury that went through here, and now it's about creating. So we're going to be, we kind of know what we want to create with Mars and Mercury that went through here. And now it's like really bringing things together in a very enjoyable way with Venus here. So we can feel happy with what we're really creating, and we can become manifestors in a whole new way, because Virgo is always very powerful with the elements. It's very sorceress energy. It's very powerful to like visualize and really connect with your inner world and to see how all the pieces can kind of come together. This is the time to really take care of your physical body. Somatics, because this is where we can kind of let the old cycles exit our body, because we store emotions and we store trauma in our body, and that can keep us stuck in lower dense cycles, where now we can kind of have a purification process. Virgo energy is rich. She's wealthy. She knows how to live well and live abundantly, because she knows how to curate abundance in her life. So this is where we can all really get in tune with the ways that we can curate abundance in our lives. This is also love, sexual love, passion. Not a lot of people talk about the passion side of Virgo, but it's very passionate. And, there is a lot of creative energy here. So it also does have to do with divine union and divine counterparts. This goddess, she always has all the goddesses that have ruled Virgo always have a really strong counterpart. So Isis, she had Horus, or she had Osiris, who later turned into Horus, if you don't know that story. Mary and Jesus, also, counterparts, twin flames. Inanna and Ishtar, and then Enki and Ninki, Lakshmi and Vishnu. So divine counterparts are definitely rulers of this sign. And back in the past, they were two signs. So it is different that it's just the feminine now. But, these are just interesting things to be aware of. We can get in tune with the higher divine love with the Sun and Venus in Virgo. I noticed like two of these counterparts were definitely descending twin flames, and then the other two were the ascending twin flames. Mary and Jesus, Isis, Osiris, they did really well. And I think Lakshmi and Vishnu, I haven't looked too much into them actually, but Lakshmi was the goddess of joy, bounty, bliss in the material. She was the ruler of the Maya. So it is like the recognition of the illusion of Maya and the illusion of the material, and then integrating the spiritual. And then, and then Inanna and Ishtar were crazy twin flames. Like they were definitely counterparts and everything. Ninki poisoned Enki, and, he was on the bridge of death. But, she brought him back to life. She was talked into bringing him back alive. But at the same time, they were very strong. They were a match. And, it was frustrating to them because he was like a ruler and everything. And she was also a creator. I think she created a lot of, like if you want to look into the history of Enki and Enlil, Ninki, she created a lot of plants and animals and all of that. And, but yeah, it was very volatile, but they were definitely the descending deities that we don't want to resonate with anymore. We want to get past those kind of energies and those archetypes and connect to the true love, the divine love that Virgo really does contain. Isis and Osiris did really pretty well. Osiris had a jealous brother, though, who tore him apart. Isis went and found all the pieces of him and constructed the pyramid and resurrected him into Horus. And then they ruled Egypt after that. Horus did. But that was a beautiful kind of cycle of Virgo of like life and death. But at the same time, that was the descending times. So, where ascending. And Mary and Jesus were the best, out of all of them. I think, Mary was on a spiritual mission before, and then, they ran into each other. They studied a lot. They got into all the things with the divine knowledge and the Christ consciousness to become that highest version of themselves, to really manifest in a whole new way. And I listened to this podcast actually that was very interesting. I think this podcast is a definitely must listen to if you really want to know the best way to manifest with Venus in the Sun in Virgo, or just with Virgo in general, because the best way to manifest is to become pure of heart, to really, so you can open your heart, so you can really start tuning into that heart intelligence and that higher dimensional intelligence. Because the best way to manifest at the end of the day is being able to work in a very conscious way with those higher dimensional energies. It's interesting how he talks about how the Arcturians talk about manifesting, because, when you manifest in the material world, you have limits. You can only do so much. But when you start getting in tune with those higher and higher dimensions and those higher energies, that's when you can make the miracles happen. And that's what Mary and Jesus did. And that's, what we can do if we're really, really serious about lightening up our energy and getting more familiar with the lighter energies. Let me see, though, if there's any way that we can align with that higher energy of Virgo coming in right now. How can we align with it? Ooh, divine masculine energy. The frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams into reality and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So yes, the divine masculine getting a reboot for sure, getting an upgrade and evolving makes sense. 3i Atlas just flew by it. NASA didn't get to catch it for whatever reason. Like, obviously, no, they're not gonna do anything interesting anymore. Those days are gone. Now it's just all about trying to keep us in entropy consciousness. That's all the government can do these days. Cornucopia. Yeah, we're recognizing the abundance that we can easily have in our everyday lives. The food, the people, the enjoyments, the magic, actually. The abundance that is just naturally there in our everyday life. Like, I love this card because it is really just, there's magic everywhere. There's sunlight coming through. There's a butterfly right there. There's just an abundance. We're slowing down even a little bit more, because Virgo energy, I've recognized it is very, very powerful to slow down, because there is kind of, just us getting that internal awareness of the cycles that are ending. So we can, it's called integration. Yeah, integration. So we can integrate the new and be just in that full alignment moving forward. Sensuality, feminine wisdom, passion. So Virgo is actually very, very sensual, so we're getting in touch with that sensual feminine energy. That does really get us into that feminine power and essence. And bright heart, light, open connections. Oh my gosh, I've never gotten this card before. So many cards that I've never gotten before. This is beautiful. Bright heart, light, opens connections. So connections are definitely coming our way. And I want to read those too, but let me pull an animal card first. It looks like a great balance between the masculine and the feminine with this Virgo energy, which kind of makes sense. Let me pull a card for, the masculine energy is definitely very, very attuned to the feminine energy. There's powerful, powerful feminine energy. Yeah. The masculine energy is going through a purification process. Didn't I already say that? The vulture card. So things are being purified, and what will stay, but what needs to go is going to go. And meanwhile, feminine essence really, really stepping into her power. I'm going to read these cards because the tiger came out. There's a tiger on here. And yeah, the opening of the heart in a whole new way. Let me grab the book. With the tiger energy that came out, we're really stepping into the emotional realm, the feminine realm, our intuition. So we can really go into the darkness and see, really feel out the depths of things. Like what is in the void and in the darkness that wants to be germinated? What are the seeds that are kind of, buried within, or what's in the hidden realms that wants to come through so it can be manifested in a very tangible way. But yeah, getting in tune with the mystery and intuition and the spirit world and hidden knowledge is going to be very, very powerful with Virgo season. So sensuality, and is always powerful with Virgo season. So a majestic tiger gazes to the right into your future, alert to the new adventures and passions about to be awakened in your life. His thick coat and sinewy muscles relay a classic expression of sensuality and movement. This energy is present for you too. It's time to open up to more sensual, or to the more sensuous side of life, to touch, taste, see, hear. With a heightened sense of appreciation and awareness, this tiger is calling you to slow down and really experience the joys of the senses. Savor every moment of a beautiful scene, a sweet taste, or a tender touch that sparks soul appreciation. The resulting energetic momentum brings you into alignment with the beauty and the bliss of the universe. In addition, a more passionate sensuality may be on the rise. Don't dismiss the potential for shared excitement and increased sexuality. A tiger totem also brings messages of feminine wisdom and devotion, for tigresses are devoted mothers. This may foretell a period of dedicating more time to your family, or even new devotion to the needs of your own sweet inner child. Listen to the intuition in all these matters. This wisdom is alive in you and ready to advise. Don't be fooled, however, by the rise of the feminine. Your gentle nature is matched by great power at this time. Tigers often hunt at night, so you may experience an increase in evening activities. I have majorly, both social and professional. You might also be feeling more adventurous and more willing to take risks. In fact, you may now find yourself becoming more passionate about a great many things. Enjoy your newfound zest for life. Affirm, I am open to the joyous experiences that all my senses bring. New adventures bring me a life of greater passion and a greater passion for life. Yes, I love that. Strong feminine energy. We really do need to just enjoy the cornucopia and the abundance in our every single day life. And we can appreciate the small things. So we can just be in that rhythm of life and in the enjoyment of life. And I think that's always what Virgo season is really, really great for. So let's see. And let's do bright heart light, because this one's really pretty. Bright heart light. Okay. Open connections, bright heart light. This peaceful yet powerful priestess of the heart comes to bring you unbounded hope and meaningful connections. She's emerging from the forest where lush green vegetation grows all around her. Like the woman pictured here, a brilliant radiance is sourced at your own heart center, with rays reaching out to the world. Even if you try to contain it, your soul light is energetically vibrant and always longing to connect. This marks a time of opening up for you. You may have been feeling disconnected or isolated lately by your own choosing or due to circumstances outside of your control. Either way, you're getting ready to come out of the trees and forge the profound soul-to-soul connections that will enrich your life and bring you into alignment with the universal fields of unlimited abundance. This is a powerful card of manifestation. When you open your heart to receive from and give to others, the universe itself sends kindred souls willing to share their heart light, assistance, and solutions with you. On a purely practical level, this card could portend blossoming friendships and perhaps new love on the horizon. It's time to release your hesitation, let yourself trust, and open up to the honoring support all around you. Affirm, I am willing to connect. I open in my heart and my life to the loving, caring friendships my spirit desires and deserves. Okay, so yes, opening your heart in a whole new way and really getting internally ready with what you want to bring into your life so you can magnetize in the right relationships, so you can really purify like everything internally and purify all the blockages that were maybe stopping you. So, you come out and it's like love is easy. Friendships, I have the best friendships. Love is really easy. I am going to have this higher level of love, and just being really internally ready with it and having that internal knowing so it can come in very, very effortlessly. Virgo energy. It is all about going in and really getting in touch with that deep feminine wisdom, getting in touch with the unseen and the unknown in a really powerful way. But that is a different way of seeing, and we can have very visceral visions right now. But it's that time to really slow down and become aware of all of that in such a visceral way, so the magic can happen externally. All right, guys. Okay, so I'm going to get into the signs. All right, so let's get into all the signs and see how you can use it in the best ways for you. So the Sun and Venus are in your 9th house, Capricorn. So this has to do with long distance travel, philosophies, your beliefs, spirituality, and you're really getting into alignment in a very conscious way with your overall vision. What is giving you that willpower, that energy, that drive to create that big vision that you want to manifest? You should be a little bit more decisive with the direction that you do want to go in. And, maybe this is a great time to really just follow your curiosity, actually, because the 9th house is where we follow our curiosity a bit, where we go on a little Sagittarius adventure, following your passion, following your fun, so you can get into alignment with what is meaningful to you, what is purposeful to you. Do you want more health? Do you want more wealth? Do you want more love? Do you want, what are the finer things that you want in life? And this is where you can really align with your values, with relationships, align your money, all in that bigger direction. With where you want to go. And it all starts with your beliefs. So make sure you spend some time like recognizing what is meaningful to you. What are your beliefs around, money and relationships, and maybe how can you expand on that? Like what has been holding you back from really creating what you want in love, money, relationships? And you can be very aware of that at this time. And then when you become aware of that and maybe you break through some limiting beliefs, you can set the new standards, set the new vision, set the new belief system, so you can become the most powerful manifestor. So prosperity is coming your way. Ooh, I love this card so much. Prosperity. The frequency of prosperity supports our feelings of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy, celebration of the abundance of and riches that the universe provides. Romantic love. You can meet somebody like while traveling long distance too, by the way. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel the whole and complete through the experience and reflection from a conscious lover. So yeah, how can you evolve your beliefs into a higher version of love and into higher prosperity too? This kind of reminds me of majorly like kind of getting in tune with your inner world and with spirit and with a higher perspective, because when planets are in the ninth house, you can easily receive downloads and insights and just guidance from your higher self to, kind of go in the right direction. Idyllic times. Now is the time to really hold your vision of what you want, to receive that vision, to really hold it and know that it is really possible. And the more that you can believe that it's possible, the easier that it can actually happen. And Lizard and Scorpion came out. So the Scorpion is reminding you of your power, and also at the same time, those really deep instinctual impulses to create out in the world and to go after what you really love, what you really desire. In the Lizard, I've really never really gotten this too often, so I'm going to read it. But I think this is a Dharma card because, which means being on a higher timeline, because of the colors that it has. So let's see, Lizard. Lizard. But yeah, you're majorly supported. These planets are making, a trine to your sign, so you can be very powerful during this time from now until November 16th. Lizard. Yeah, I literally never really get this card. Okay. Instinctual, sensitive to the subtle dreamer. The Lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception. As if it has sixth sense, the Lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the Lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a Lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication, a pullback from the bright lights in big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. So when in balance, artist, telepathic, spiritual. When out of balance, elusive, non-committal, flaky. Bring into balance a creative project. Yep. I think you can really let the creative energy flow, and that will also kind of guide you in the direction towards prosperity, towards romantic love, and towards ultimately more power and more, the Scorpion always reminds me of just, Scorpio energy, Kundalini energy, really just letting that kind of creative power surge through your body so you can create whatever you want to create and love how you want to love and feel very empowered with doing all of that. All right, Capricorn, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Aquarius, this is in your 8th house. So you're really getting in touch with your deeper soul desires. The 8th house is where we feel those intense urges and sometimes the yuckier emotions. Sometimes it is like jealousy, guilt, shame, all the lower dense emotions. Those are where we shoved our own life force down. So if we're jealous of somebody or something, that's us wanting to go towards it. If we're angry, we have to recognize that anger, because that is how we can let our life force flow. Discernment came out reversed. So this is actually saying to be a little bit more open. Maybe you were a little protective in love or with money or just some sort of circumstance, because the 8th house is where we can majorly get blocked off, where we can just kind of like close off to a certain part of life, and then therefore it becomes a trigger. So your triggers are your best friends, because that is literally clearing you out and allowing you to really listen to yourself in a deeper intuitive way. So, you can really trust yourself in the way, and lightening up, so you can like lighten up those denser emotions, so you can really like let the energy flow in a whole new way, because that's, wherever we block off those emotions, whenever we feel the anger, whenever we feel resentment, like be happy, because you're bringing those energies up to be recognized, to be free from them. So you can let source flow through you, so you can be more sensitive to what you want and what you really desire, and what you want to create. The eighth house is, our time and our energy that we invest in our business or in our partner, or, our investments, anything that's really, really meaningful to us. So you're really becoming aware of that. But you're definitely opening up to the universe in a whole new way, where maybe you were stuck in some sort of duality that was blocking you off from the finer things in life. The eighth house is where we stockpile a ton of money, and where we have that in-depth love. And it's not comfortable to get to that really deep love always, but when you get to be vulnerable, when you can break down more and more of those barriers, that's when love becomes really, really meaningful. So this is showing you your anxiety, so you can release your anxiety. Anxiety is just like your life force not expressing itself in some way. It's where you don't say something to somebody. It's where you don't take that action. It's you stopping yourself from taking some sort of action, or breaking or expressing yourself in a certain way that's causing you anxiety. So you're recognizing where you could have released that anxiety the entire time, by going through that deeper recognition. And duality, many meanings. So you're breaking out of some sort of where you were stuck in some sort of duality, that is going to allow you to create more. 3-6. So you're on the way to manifest a little bit more and to create more, because you're seeing both sides of a situation. You're understanding a deeper meaning. You're understanding many meanings. You're maybe understanding in the past where you had a misunderstanding, and you're opening up more to your heart. So at the end of the day, you're seeing where you blocked yourself off, or where you were blocked off, so you can really roar with the heart again. So you can really trust with the heart, because it takes courage. We can have these deep discernments and pulls and intuitions internally to go in a certain direction, to lead our lives in a certain way, but it takes courage to really take action on that, and to really lead with your heart. So this is making you a more courageous creator in your life. And let me read the Lion, just because, why not? Lion. Patient, regal, a complete master. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with keener eyes know better. Lions are observant, stealthy, and precise in their words and their actions. They do not waste their energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. So yeah, you're becoming a master at something. You're really going to be leading with the heart. And I think somebody in your life might be teaching you something, because you're dealing with relationships in a deep way. Leo is the ruler of your relationships. So relationships are definitely mirrors right now. And I think they'll show you how you can have a deeper transformation. And don't just because a Leo seems shiny and like they haven't gone through anything, like they have, and I think you know, you're recognizing some sort of depth anyway with a Leo and their own way, or a relationship, and the way that they have personally transformed through something where you can release those previous judgments in life that will make you stronger, bolder, more courageous, and more powerful. All right. Thank you, Aquarius. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Pisces, this is all about your relationships. So, your serious one on one relationships, this could be friendships, family, romantic, business partnerships, any one on one relationship. Relationships are mirrors, but you're going to be going through an easier time since Mars is out of the seventh house. So, maybe you've cleared out old perspectives or old dynamics or even an old relationship. And now it's time to make magic happen. You can easily manifest a relationship. You know, the sun is here, so consciously you're being aware of what you want in relationships and who you should focus on, what you should focus on. You easily have the willpower to focus on what you want to manifest in your relationships instead of what you don't want to manifest in your relationships. So make sure you have your conscious awareness towards what you want to manifest in relationships. And, you know, don't spend too much time focusing on what you don't want. I mean, we're all human at the end of the day, but, you know, if this is powerful manifestation energy time, so you want to be focusing on what you want to manifest. And with Venus here, relationships can be very diplomatic, very harmonious, very easy. You could easily meet somebody new if you're single. If you're in a relationship, this is the time to really focus on the ones that you love and go out, have fun, enjoy each other. You know, maybe you guys, if it's a business relationship, this is a great time to kind of work together and create something really beautiful. Beneficial clients could be really coming in. This is also a really powerful time if you own your business to come up with new marketing strategies and a different way to outreach to your clients that is more authentic to you. So blossoming abundance is definitely happening in your relationships. There is growth, there is abundance, there is beauty, there is magic being found in like a new way of creating in relationships. So I love that. And I think you're releasing what was maybe previously delightful about relationships, whatever that means. Let's see. Frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. So it came out reverse. So I don't know if you're finding the slow long-term satisfaction in relationships. Okay, yeah, Saturn is in your first house. So I think you're finding a way to have that long-term gratification in your relationships instead of looking at maybe the short term, but at the same time finding relationships that do bring you that joy and that happiness, you know, that are more secure, that are more in alignment with your long-term vision. And sacred gratitude, reverent appreciation, prayer. Reverence means closeness to God. So I think, you know, people are going to be very appreciative towards you. So make sure, you know, whoever you're with, you know, they really show, well, what am I saying here? Okay. I don't know. There's going to be people that come in that are very grateful for you and you grateful for them. And I think this is a newfound delight that you can have. Hyena came out reverse. Let me read the hyena. So hyena is like two personalities sometimes. the light in the dark. They're funny. Oh yeah, not needing to put on a mask. Okay, so you're releasing the mask, or somebody you're around is releasing the mask. The hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser, but below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witty, funny to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, suspicious. Bring into balance by sobriety. So I think, with Mars and Mercury in your 8th house, relationships can be triggering too at the same time. But if you really get to the deeper truth of things, and if you remove the mask, and if you're grateful for, the good and the bad and the trigger, especially because when you face the trigger, you can just get to a deeper truth and a deeper way to be happy in relationships that is for the long term. So definitely long-term satisfaction with this instead of focusing on the short term. And the blossoming abundance is showing you where the abundant timeline will be for the long term in relationships, but it's slow and steady growth and not immediate satisfaction. But it's getting you closer to God and closer to those divine unions and those really meaningful relationships that will last for a lifetime. All right, Pisces, thank you so much. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Aries. Okay, so let's see what's going on for you. This is happening in your 6th house. So this is, you know what, though, the 6th house, because Libra is a new constellation. And I think the 6th house did have a lot to do with partnerships also. So it's not necessarily a boring house. I think, the 6th house is meant to include love and relationships and work that's deeply fulfilling and, the enjoyment of life. So not being afraid to slow down, if you're pushing too much, and then not being afraid to go full steam ahead when it's time to go full steam ahead. But don't forget this is a feminine sign. You can get a lot of deep insights with being able to slow down and listen to your intuition and connect with life and connect with nature again, to be in that full alignment and see what abundance comes to you anyway. When you are in alignment, when you are enjoying life, when your vibration is high, when you're feeling good, when you're looking good, when you're eating healthy, eating high vibrational, no GMO foods, because that's not good for your DNA. You want natural, abundant food with good with non-GMOs and all the other shit that they're putting in to keep us vibrationally a little bit lower. Eating organic or a CSA box is the best thing because it's cheap, actually. It's organic, fresh food. It tastes way better than any grocery store that you've ever gone to. And it is so good. And you don't know what's going to come in it. So that's kind of always exciting with being able to kind of just, I don't know, be open to whatever you're making for the week. And it's just such good food though. I need to get a bigger CSA box and the eggs that come with it too, actually. Because I want a rooster, but I don't want to have a backyard. Okay. But this is you getting in alignment with your habits, your routines, your everyday life, making it very enjoyable and your vibration being high. So, you can work with the feminine aspect to attract the right people and things in abundance to really be attracted to you. At the same time, creating a life in a beautiful way with beautiful strong relationships and work that you love and all of that. This is a great time to manifest a job that you love, to apply for a job that you want to really be at, to start a business, to start dating somebody. I'm going to say that too, even because I think the 6th house is so closely tied to the 7th house, actually. but I'm going through my own journey with that. Okay, so the temple path. The temple path is looking for the magic in life, the signs, the synchronicities, realizing that we are like, not everything's about work. We are, on a spiritual journey. And the more that you can be open to the magic of life, the more you can let magic happen. The cosmic flower, the frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. So yeah, you're seeing how you can get into that place of remembrance on a daily basis. So you can easily just effortlessly pour the core and your essence into your everyday life. Actually, how can you make your life a living prayer? Not what should you do every day? Get out of the mind. How can you follow your passion? How can you follow your excitement? How can you make your life a living prayer and imbue your essence into your work, into your relationships, and into your life? And see how abundant that really, really makes you. Hidden knowledge, Akashic records, silent understanding. With Saturn and Neptune in your 12th house, I think you're really easily accessing the Akash and, the collective in the collective database, and the past and the present and the future. And, timelines are kind of all converging into one right now. And this is giving you that deep, deep knowing that you actually need right now that would get you a lot farther than pushing and going along with the grind. So Sea Serpent came out. So let me read this. Oh yeah, this is kind of like this always reminds me of like the 8th house Kundalini energy. This is recognizing where you might have suppressed yourself creatively or your spirit, so you can see where you can unblock and pour into your creations in a stronger way. So sea serpent, healing emotional wounds, expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease, and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment, and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some area of our lives, and in others places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. So yeah, you're definitely awakening to your inner essence in a more fulfilling way. So you can just live from that on a daily basis and to really express yourself to the fullest, and kind of like the unraveling happen, but it's happening with your internal world first to really like start radiating to a whole nother level from the inside out. All right, Aries, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Taurus. So this is happening in your 5th house, which has to do with self-expression, fun, creativity, love, divine love, really opening up to, the higher aspects of love, the purity of love, soul love. And yeah, if you're single, it's going to be a good time to meet somebody, go out on dates, follow your heart and your excitement, see where that leads you. And that will lead you towards love. A true companion with tenderness and compassion. There's going to be new perspectives coming in love. And maybe it seems like it's a little far away. Sometimes, or the book says that with the giraffe, because they have to like look long distance for it or whatever. Or maybe you're just looking at the future plans in a whole different way. and you're seeing how true love can really, really come in. Yep. And it's coming from a place of remembrance. You're getting in tune with that soul love. And the more you open your heart and the more that you follow your passion, the more you kind of open up your consciousness and your conscious awareness to the true love that's really meant to come into your life. And the more you can have that wider lens when it comes to love too. But yeah, this could, for some of you, mean a soulmate relationship is coming in your life, into your life, that is really deep, that is really profound, that really feels familiar and gives you that remembrance. And you guys are like kind of vibrationally, they just feel comfortable and kind of like, home. Yep. And the sun, happiness, creativity. So you're also finding what really makes you happy in a whole new way. How can you follow your heart? How can you trust your heart more? We want to tune into that heart intelligence. That's where everything is. So the more that you follow your fun, your passion, your excitement, and you release rigidity and control, the more you can actually tune into that higher intelligence to start manifesting at higher dimensional levels to make all the magic happen in your everyday life. So this is going to be all about following your heart, following your passion, following your creativity, and see where that takes you day by day by day, living in the present moment, because the unicorn came out. So you're definitely learning how to express yourself in a whole new way. You're finding your magical essence. Let me read the unicorn and the bigger essence of you. With this remembrance, you're realizing how limitless you actually are. And that always happens with that kind of remembrance and with that inner knowing of things. So let's see, the unicorn. So you could be getting very profound visions too. The unicorn is the third eye chakra. Yeah. So reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and oh my gosh. Okay, one sec. Encapsulates our unwavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from. And if we can really trust in it, we think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to the curiosity about our higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives in a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. To grasp something more, you are the unicorn and you have begun your quest for answers. So you're recognizing your divinity and recognizing how limitless you actually are. You're breaking out of a lot of the limits. When you recognize when your consciousness expands and when you tap into your divinity, you can recognize how you are a master creator. You are a master healer. You are that divine intelligence that can tap in at any time to that certain frequency that you need to create whatever you actually really want to create. And it's making you a limitless creator and a limitless being. So yeah, that's very exciting. You're tapping into your remembrance and more love to really manifest all the things that you want at a higher level. All right. Thank you so much, Taurus. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Gemini. So this is happening in your fourth house. So this is your home, your family, your foundation, your inner core, and you're having the good feels there. So this is a good time to kind of, beautify your home, renovate your home. If you've been wanting to move, it'd be easier to find a place that you really, really love. Home is where the heart is. This is a great time to really get into alignment with your inner being in your core and really set the the standard of the emotions that you want to be feeling on a more regular basis. Um, Speaking of that, I'm moving because my neighbor is a terrorist, a literal terrorist, and I'm going to talk about that later when I move. But I know my dog's barking at her right now because she literally likes to harass my dog because I think she wants money in a lawsuit. So anyway, and she's famous too, or was famous in like the 80s. She was the one in the Goonies. So, but yeah, she is a full blown, I hope. Yeah, my dogs are locked inside. Okay. Literally can't. I'm trying to be high vibrational though, so I'm not. Okay. One sec. Let's get back and let's take these cards back actually. So let me reset because beautiful cards came out. Heart chakra. The flower of life supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind, body, spirit. Did you guys know about like the Fibonacci versus the crystal spiral? I just started looking into that. So like the crystal spiral, it always brings you back to source. And it is actually the flower of life versus the flower of life that we've kind of been taught, which is more so in alignment with the Fibonacci spiral, which is actually makes it the flower of death because you get farther and farther away from source. I don't know why I'm being guided to say that, but there you go. A meditation practice or something, you getting into alignment with your higher self and with source on a daily basis, I think you can have major, major insights and just knowings internally right now that really get you going to where you want to go. But what do you want to manifest for your foundation? Do you want more health? Do you want more wealth? Do you want better relationships? It all really starts from within. And right now you can really be consciously aware and decisive of what you want to manifest with the sun in Virgo, knowing what you want to manifest as that core, as that foundation, and then aligning your values with it, Venus, and then putting your conscious awareness towards those things so you can manifest those things and broadcast them internally with your emotional core. So it's a little bit of a hermit mode energy, but you're really getting into alignment with your heart. And you're showing your self appreciation. And it all starts with self love, self appreciation first. So you attract in that appreciation in a lot easier way. But the heart chakra, basically the following your heart came out twice. It takes courage to really follow your heart. You can have those inner realizations and everything, but once you have that, take action on it, like go towards it, plant the seed, take the effort, follow your heart in a certain way when you get that knowing, because you're going to be getting really, really strong knowings with the heart chakra that came out. Supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize with the mind, body, spirit. So yeah, I think you're just finding more love from within, and it's getting your life force energy moving in a whole new way, and it's communicating that to the universe to bring everything good into your life with the sacred sound and breath coming out. Life force communication. I actually want to read this card because this is like this just reminds me of like dolphin echolocation or whatever that is. You're tuning into that way of communicating. There's not just one way of communicating. There is sound, there is vibration. Bats have that echolocation, so they communicate that way. And I think that is really getting you in tune with the movement of life around you in a whole new way. So you're tapping into that bigger knowing that you're getting from source so you can move with source. And when you can move with source, you can make quantum leaps. And yeah, also having that deep self-love from within. So sacred breath and sound, life force, communication. This priestess of breath, of life, brings the light of the dolphin to you. This important totem has long been a symbol of life force embodied in breath, movement, and sound. This card is telling you to bring the dolphin's easy flowing pattern into the breath of your life force at this time. Healing is available to you now on both the physical and personal levels. Yeah, when you get in tune with divinity and consciousness and you start visualizing, you can heal your body. Like us visualizing is us just telling ourselves and our body what we want to be experiencing. And we're tricking it into saying we are experiencing it. So we actually so it actually happens. Randomly. Okay. Like if you visualize it, okay. Roundabout story. Okay. So, Donald Trump, like him or hate him, I don't know. I just heard this randomly on Redacted that just popped up. Like I just heard it. I don't follow politics. I don't really care. But I guess he posted something about the AI beds, or not the AI beds, the med beds, which everyone has talked about. You go in the med bed, they give you the limb that you're missing. It can reverse your age 20 years, but we can actually already do that right now. You can ask the Octurians to go in the med beds. You can visualize yourself going into the med beds. And therefore, our cells think we are going into the med beds and it reverses our age. So just saying, visualization and really working in that higher dimensional way can heal your mind, heal your body, heal your spirit, get you in touch with spirit in a whole different way. Okay, but let me finish reading this. This card is telling you to bring the dolphin's easy flowing pattern and breath into your life force at this time. Healing is available to you now on his personal and physical levels. Deep breathing can relieve stress, initiate and accelerate healings, and raise the resonant vibration of your chi or life force. So if there's a physical issue or personal pattern you want to resolve, spend some time in deep breathing and meditation and let yourself feel fluid, peaceful, influence it, and peaceful influence it brings into your body and into your life. Yeah, so do somatics too. Moving your body, moving your bodies in different way actually does release the trauma out of your body. We store a lot of trauma in our body and in our fascia, and that's actually where some of our denser emotions really stay stuck until we start moving our body and doing sound baths or whatever. So that can help you move out in the world in a very fluid, effortless way, because that's the goal with Saturn and Neptune in your 10th house. You can move in a very effortless, magical way out in the world, but you got to release and unconstrain yourself to allow yourself to follow your intuition and your instincts and the signs, the synchronicities, and being in alignment ultimately. Okay, another sacred energy heralded by this card is the resonance of sound. Dolphins have a special way of communicating, sending out clicks in responding to their reverberations. This card is calling your attention to how you communicate with yourself and with others. This aqua blue colors on the card reinforce the importance of this message vibrating with the energy of your fifth or throat chakra. Let's see. It's your soul's directive to honor your self-expression. If you find it difficult to speak up, start by venting your difficult feelings in your journal. This healing process leads you to greater courage of expression in the future. It's time to share your feelings, voice your requests, honor your right to speak out, and take breath and practice communicating openly with others. This resonance of your breath and sound will soon move your life forward with the freedom and fluidity of the sparkling joy of the dolphin's magical energy. Affirm. I breathe deeply and express myself. My sound and my breath are sacred to me. So yeah, that kind of makes sense with the South Node in your third house too. You're finding a way to express yourself more authentically, more courageously, and more uniquely. And it could be even, through writing, through speaking out on a platform, but it's aligning you with this higher, different vision that's super, super exciting to you. So I like that. Oh, you got a lot more randomly because I got excited by the dolphins. But yeah, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Cancer. Okay, so this is happening in your third house, and your third house is kind of like, what do you do every day? This is your daily life, your routines, the way you think, the way you speak to yourself and others, what do you listen to? What are you putting in your brain on a daily basis? What are you really consciously creating on a daily basis? And you can become a very conscious creator in your everyday life right now. So you can be in flow with your inspiration and delights and, just your intuition and in alignment in a very easy, fun, effortless way right now. Virgo energy is really good at like knowing what's not the right direction for them because they feel it in their mind and in their body immediately. You feel it in your stomach. If you're not going in the right direction and in your mind, you overthink. And if you're going in the positive direction that is expansive and in alignment with your soul, then, everything feels good. You're moving along, time disappears, and yeah, everything is easy and breezy. So this is going to be a great time to have a lot of creative ideas for your business or writing or social media. If you're meeting people out and about in your neighborhood, it's a really good time for that. It's a good time for dating apps if you believe in that or want to do that. But overall, it's a good time to just live in delight. We need to do less thinking in this society. We need to just start living, in our excitement. As Bashar says, follow your passion, follow your excitement. You don't know where it's going to expand your world in your consciousness and take you exactly where you need to go, but it always takes you exactly where you need to go and to what you need to do and to who you need to meet. Someone's going to say who you need to know. So you kind of expand your consciousness and expand yourself into the unknown in a way that you never even knew you needed to know. Oh my God, why am I word jumbling right now? Anyway, so you're getting out of fearful mindsets of loss, lack, victimization, wherever maybe you got stuck in like program loops that were a little bit limiting, that took up a little bit too much of your time and your energy on a daily basis. You're really being set free in a whole new way. And it's going to start from following your delight. The delight card, the frequency of delight, supports your capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. And the more delight we feel, the more delight we invoke in others. And then also the more your consciousness raises and the more that you can kind of be in alignment with your higher self and with your guides and with creating that bigger vision in a very easy and effortless way. So happy family. You're getting in alignment with a happy family and a foundation through doing this too. And you're doing it in a way where you're setting yourself free, because with the peacock that came out, you're not limiting your self-expression or your creativity and the way that you really want to live, that brings you the most ultimate delight, instead of doing it in the traditional way and being too limited to the traditional. So let's see what the peacock says. Let's see. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so inner beauty, compassion, a simulator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think it comes from the plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and it extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of self and others. So, when in balance, confident, kind, when out of balance, can't digest situations, bring into balance by meditation on navel. So, yeah, I think really you're just getting in tune with your higher self in a whole new way and being able to flow with your higher self and be more in acceptance of everything and everyone. With Mars and Mercury retrograding in the fourth house, there might be a little bit more triggers with family and everything. But at the end of the day, you get to set within, everything starts from within first. You are the architect of your reality and you are the perceiver of everything. And the more that you can bring your conscious awareness to that higher level of perceiving, that's not from a place of duality, that's not from that perception of loss or lack or fear, the more you set yourself free from all that bullshit, the more you can be in alignment with your higher self in a higher manifestor with the higher dimensions in a very easy, effortless way. And the more that you can be in tune with source energy in that higher dimensional way also. So recognize your power, even if you're facing some frustrations already with this Mercury Mars stuff, recognize your power to change your perception and realize that every trigger is actually a gift. It's literally just lightening you up. It's letting you shift your perspective in a whole new way. And it's turning you more so into your brilliant, radiant self with just so much compassion and inner beauty, and knowing that you're always in the right place at the right time. And the affirmation I like for you is I am a vessel of God. And the more that you can kind of let yourself do that and to just kind of flow with life, the more that you can have that love and compassion and realize, this crazy family thing didn't have to be so bad. Like, and it's like you can recognize where normally how that would have gone bad, how you can actually just decide to live in delight and happiness and celebration, like right here, right now, and in that highest version of yourself, and know that you're going towards all the good things anyway. So you can release all these old perspectives that weren't serving you and that you realize that you never even needed to carry. So that's always very exciting when that happens, when you you don't get into the drama and you just realize, oh, it could have been just free and just uplifting and, smooth sailing the entire time. That's kind of what I'm getting with that. Yep. All right. Thank you so much, Cancer. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Leo. How's it going? Okay, so this is happening in your second house. And maybe after some frustration with second house, maybe you were spending too much. Maybe you were just frustrated with bosses or whatever work stuff. Now, this is the time to create the abundance that you deserve. And you are a limitless creator that can create infinite abundance. So magical ideas can come to you right now with how you can create more money in a very effortless way that is in alignment with your soul. The sun and Venus here, so your awareness is here. Your conscious awareness is deciding. You can decide what you want to spend your time and your energy on, so you can create abundance in your life. So you go towards the things that are worthy of you. So you know your value, you know your worth. You can set the bar high when it comes to how much you want to be paid. What do you want to spend your time and energy on? Because what is worth your value? And with Venus here, yep, it's just getting in alignment with relationships, with money, with how you can upgrade your values that are so it's more so in alignment with your soul. And so you can release any stories when it comes to money, because sometimes we hold ourselves back in such unconscious ways. Like sometimes we stop ourselves from earning because we don't want to be successful because of what would they say, what would they think. I can't make money that easily. Like what would they say, what would they think? Can I be more successful than that person? I don't know. Like all the millions of ways that we might have this unconscious narrative in our head that we can become aware of, so we can like become more abundant. Because well, Mercury oh, this is interesting. I just thought this. If Mercury rules Virgo, maybe the way we think is how well we earn money. But since I'm on the tangent of maybe Venus ruling Virgo, make sure your values are super in alignment with your soul, and you're really paying attention to what you value and giving your focus and energy into that so you can have more money. But yeah, you're recognizing you were always the magician. You have everything that you need right now. You have all the tools to manifest all the abundance that you want, to create with spirit, create for the highest good of all, to let that money flow in, the door to value. The money is flowing in, and it's going to be able to flow in at a higher level, or just more in alignment with your soul and with your higher self. So make sure you're getting in tune with spirit, visualizing, imagining, receiving those messages and those downloads so you can create in alignment with your higher self. And 3, calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. Yeah, so realize that you actually don't need to push and push and go and go. It's not like how hard you work. It's about being in alignment, because when you can move in alignment with your higher self, you're always going in the right direction towards the right things. And that's how you can easily make money. And it's not about how hard you work. Sometimes you just need to be able to solve a problem that people need solved. And then you can make a lot of money for a lot less time and energy, and you don't have to grind. So definitely big perceptions shifts are happening with this. Your perception is everything. So, and your perception is shifting from within. This is feminine, powerful feminine energy that you're really getting in touch with within. That when you get more in tune with that peace and calm within, you're going to be able to see in a lot easier way. It's going to shift your perception in a major way. And yeah, perception, curiosity moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceived as real, and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So yeah, most of our perceptions and our beliefs aren't even real. So it's up to you to decide what you really are perceiving, and if you decide to believe it. And Dragon card came out. Such a powerful card. This is like primordial wisdom trying to move through you so you create in a certain way. So seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before the first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It's almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of us, inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who was watching us. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and we traverse even the most difficult terrain. The dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see the beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. Agni is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. maybe even the mention of the dragon stirs the embers of intelligence within you. So yeah, a lot of you awakening the primordial dragon wisdom from within. Definitely listen to like dragon meditations, dragon light language, whatever you feel really that resonates with you. I just found out my sun and Jupiter is on the ancient they changed her to a beast in like modern mythology. But she was a dragon and she was one of the 7 primordial dragons. Her name is Tiamat. She is just a very ancient being that came from, the pure feminine energy and essence. So recognize that dragon energy is just a pure primordial, strong, powerful energy that wants to flow through. And sometimes chaos can be happening in our lives. So we do listen to that energy because it's like, this is not for you anymore. You need to be going in this direction and listening to that inner fire in a really powerful way. So you can recognize that you were the magician all along. All right, Leo, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Virgo. Okay, so this is all about yourself, your identity, how you embody yourself fully out in the world, and if you're bringing your full internal self externally, and yeah, just being beautiful out in the world, being great, radiant, just stepping up into that full embodiment so you can attract all the right people, all the right relationships, everything really to you. With the sun in your first house, there's a spotlight on you, and you are very aware of how you've been representing yourself out in the world. And Venus is really just beautifying things. And the first house is also your perception. It's what are you spending your time, focusing your time and energy on? Is it towards your manifestations and the things that you want to attract into your life? Or is it towards, or is it just a little bit scattered? How can you refine things? How can you, be a little bit more courageous with how you, with kind of, just embodying, like, know what you expect out of reality. And, the more that you have that inner knowing from within, the easier it can actually come to you. So delight came out reversed. So there is a way that you're kind of finding the delight in life. You are really releasing maybe where you were a little bit too rigid, a little bit too, controlling with your identity or the way you represented yourself or the way you showed up out in the world. When you lighten up and you can just kind of flow and effortlessly move through life, and you're prioritizing your joy, your happiness, delight is experience of feeling intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we invoke in others. So allowing yourself to really fully be delightful out and about and see how far that gets you. It's a little bit less like overthinking things and knowing that if you just follow your passion, you follow your excitement moment to moment to moment, you're going to be in alignment. And, like Bashar says, just follow your passion, follow your excitement. You're going to be in alignment with your highest self, and you're going to meet the right people, run into the right information, be just more connected to your higher self and your spirit guides. And you can easily and effortlessly flow through the universe. And it's more like you're getting in tune with your life force in a whole new way. And it's allowing you to communicate more so without words. When you really get that full embodiment and you have that picture version or that pictured version of yourself and your identity, and you externalize it, that sends all the communication that you need. It sends it vibrationally. It sends it just through your mannerisms. It shows there's a new way that there's a up leveling of the way that you can really step into your higher self and do it in a fun way, having a lot of fun with it and letting that reverberate out into the world. And so yeah, you're looking at the long term and making a plan too with the thinking woman that came out. You are very intelligent. You are ascending in a certain way. You are kind of ascending to higher consciousness. And it's going to allow you to kind of grab this pearl in a very easy and effortless way, where you have that wide perspective. I think you're developing a wide perspective with this transit. So you are prioritizing what you want, what you need, what you desire. And once you know that and you have your eye on the prize, it's going to be easy breezy to go after it. Okay. Or to attract it. You're going to be coming off really well. So if you go to a job interview, if you're going out on a date, you're just going to be more likable, more charismatic, very enjoyable. So yeah, take advantage of this transit, get out, have a lot of fun, express yourself in different ways. And yeah, fully step into this confidence. The eagle. Okay. All-pervading power, truth seeker, transforms karma. The noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp in the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. So with Saturn and Neptune in your seventh house, you could be facing, frustrations with relationships, but at the end of the day, you're evolving out of karma in relationships. And the more that you can evolve out of any heavy, dense cycles in relationships, the more, you lighten up, you can ascend into higher relationships. You can not be so tied down by the drama that you would normally get sucked into. And yeah, you just can have this wider perspective. So realize that relationships are mirrors at the end of the day, and it's showing you what you have within yourself. What perspective do you have within yourself? And that can show you a lot with how you perceive yourself and how you can be that stronger version of yourself. So you don't have to deal with relationship challenges in that way ever again. And then the sacred breath and sound. This was all about really, a meditation practice, listening to, I think, really getting into tuning forks these days, how that can really clean up your aura. Vibration actually really does heal us. And even just working with the aura, that can really heal us in a certain way and make us more of a powerful presence. And it can allow us to emanate more of our own inner life force energy externally. So I think if you're drawn to anything like that, like sound bath or tuning fork healing or anything like that, it can be a really powerful thing to do. But at the end of the day, follow your delight and see where it takes you. Okay, Virgo, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Libra. Okay, so you're getting in touch with your 12th house, which is behind the scenes. It's your subconscious. But also it is behind the scenes, passion projects or work that you don't really do out and about, but you do it, just kind of to yourself. But yeah, it's a little bit, you're definitely in hermit mode energy, but you can really enjoy yourself in hermit mode with creating, with aligning with spiritual practices, with working with your subconscious through meditation or subliminals or whatever your chosen method is. But you're definitely, when planets go through the 12th house, like the sun, like Venus, I always see it as they're ending a cycle and getting ready to start a new cycle. And they're going through like a cleanse, you know, because they're in Pisces land right now, where they're just being washed away by the oceans of the subconscious. So you can release the cycles that you're done with. So these planets can be purified a little bit. So you can be in a higher alignment with your higher self when they move into your first house. So the sun, that is your consciousness, that is your awareness. And maybe you're looking at the ways that you self-sabotage. We always are evolving out of the ways that we self-sabotage. So this is just the most recent one. And then also with money, with relationships, with how can you up-level your values so they are more in alignment with your higher self and where spirit is pulling you. So the Divine Mother is definitely talking to you right now. You're realizing maybe what you need to walk away from. And this could be an internal feeling, an emotion, or this could be an actual thing that you've been spending a lot of time and energy on that hasn't been leading you anywhere. And it's time to walk away from it and feel a lot lighter and feel, free. But dynamic. I think you're going to be able to see a lot of different perspectives that will lead you to different conclusions about, what you spend your time and energy on and what you want to manifest. The frequency of dynamic support or supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. I love that because the 12th house is kind of like getting in tune with all dimensions of you, where we have multiple us's at different dimensions. And I think these planets, these consciousnesses are getting a little bit of an upgrade for you. So you can integrate more of those higher dimensional aspects of you into them and be a little bit more dynamic with things moving forward. But Divine Mother, you're going to get that deep intuitive knowing that just feels soulfully aligned and just nurturing and just comforting in your inner world. When you really get in tune with your inner feminine and you really listen to those ideas and that knowing and those feelings, it really does just feel like you're being wrapped up, from the inside anyways. And that's what's going to give you a lot of clarity. A lot of clarity is coming from within, from your inner world. So you can release the illusion of planning and having too much control and that you even need a plan, because your higher self has the higher perspective. You just kind of have to release it to your higher self, follow your excitement, follow your, stay in alignment and see where that really takes you. Less thinking, more being in your heart, and more following your passion. Golden egg came out. So the golden egg, this is kind of like a rebirth and a new perspective. I read this earlier, and it's funny because I've never really gotten this card before today, but it comes out twice today. So let's see. It's like a seed is being planted. Seed of new awareness. The ring lights are my retinas are a little dry. Okay. Golden egg, message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, no pushing or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. I don't know why. I don't know why I just thought of this like time where like I couldn't. Okay, let me keep on reading 1 sec. Introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask questions that weigh the heaviest on your heart. Stay open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. Yep, it's all about your inner world, and that's where you're going to get that deep, intuitive knowing of anything that you really need guidance on. It's all within you, and it's going to feel the best, and it'll give you more clarity than possibly the best therapist on earth. I don't know. Never mind. But yeah, spend some time, walking away and, just being with yourself, because that will open your world up in such a dynamic way. All right, Libra, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Scorpio. Okay, so let's see what's going on for you. This is happening in your 11th house. So this has to deal with your hopes and dreams and visions for the future. This is your friendships. This is your networks. And when the sun is here, you are becoming very consciously aware of what you're spending your time and energy on, and what you're really focused on. The sun is our willpower. So when you really hone in your focus towards that bigger picture that you want to direct your energy towards, that you want to manifest, you're becoming very aware of that. And also with Venus, you're aligning with your values and strong friendships and maybe different ways to make money, but new ways of making abundance that is a little bit more broader perspective and in alignment with like-minded people. So I really like that. It's very, very beautiful. This is a great time to really look at the big picture and really be aware of who you're hanging out with, what is the big picture, and how can you really reach for the stars? Because the 11th house is all about kind of taking it to the next level. It's breaking out of the box. And it is kind of lucky with people or opportunities really coming your way, to, go in a bigger, broader direction. It's a good time to go hang out with friends, go to a concert, socialize, go out and about. You can meet special relationships that, really help you, that really thrive. Yep. Friendship, support, fun, unity, play, strong friendships. Ooh, you're getting aligned with strong friendships. Right now, let's see. Sure. And Buffalo. Let's see. So Garden in the Gate, you are seeing where you were maybe blocked off to a certain way of having fun or maybe even certain relationships. But this is the time to really align with like-minded people that feel expansive, feel exciting, feel like they make you want to thrive and be abundant out in the world and be that best version of yourself. Because there are opportunities opening up that will help you go towards, door to personal healing and happiness. It's kind of like where you were blocked off before, where you're running into people that will really resonate with you, that show you that this is the way and this is the new expansive direction that you can go out and thrive in. And it's going to be fun, it's going to be fun, very supportive, support, fun, unity, play. And let's see, Gaia came out. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are indefinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother, and to the universe that birthed us all. So I wouldn't be surprised if soul families really came in, and that was just very healing and really made you feel supported out in the world. Buffalo energy came out reverse. So it's like, recognize where things can maybe get shaken up, and maybe where you don't need to be so steady and consistent towards the things that, I don't know, you just feel like there needs to be a plan and there needs to be a certain way to do things. You are supposed to be leaning into this Pisces energy in the 5th house, which is unrestricting the way you have fun and, really listening to your heart and following your passion, following your excitement, seeing where that takes you, who you meet, what brilliant ideas really open up your world that way, and how your consciousness expands also with that. And let me read the vulture. Let's see. Guardian, purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. So if you do need to release a friend, or if something needs to be purified in the 11th house, which, maybe there was an old hope or dream that didn't work out, or a relationship that didn't work out, it's always a blessing in disguise. You're always where you're supposed to be. You're always going in the right direction. And let me read this friendship card. Friendship, support, fun, unity. Yeah, I think you'll find a lot of unity by just having a lot of fun, being in the present moment, following your heart, following your excitement, following your passion, and seeing where that takes you. So the two smiling young women on this card look out over the beauty on their homeland with joyous appreciation. The profound kindred connection they share is clearly a wellspring of ongoing support and happiness. This card is telling you that it's an important time to reconnect with friends and loved ones in order to experience the camaraderie and joint intentions of your soul group. There's a powerful vibration that comes from a connection forged in shared history, philosophy, and a loving experience. It is palatable, yet often unspoken union that brings deep feelings of support. This may or may not be family of your youth, but when the resonance of these individuals vibrate in harmony, innocence, and enjoyment, you can rest assured that it is the family of your soul. You may have been feeling the need for support lately. If so, let yourself turn to those you know who will allow you to express all your deepest desires and fears without judgment or derision. Unite with others of like mind so you can continue to support each other through the good and the bad times. This card also encourages you to get together with others for the simple intention of fun and play. The times when you share these magical vibrations will spread the irresistible resonance of joy exponentially through your life and theirs. Always remember, you deserve to let go, to have fun, to come together with the happy souls that lift your energy and fill you with hope, comfort, laughter, and unbounded bliss. So affirm, I open myself to the supportive connections around me. I join in the fun and joy that these loving friendships can bring. It's time to just have fun. Yep. It's time to release being consistency. I think that's what needs to be purified, is like you feeling like you always need to work, or you need to stay in your box, or you need to stay blocked off in a certain way. When you have to realize that going out, having fun, connecting with friends, traveling, whatever is fun to you, and connecting with nature is going to take you where you want to go a lot faster right now. So make sure you're going out with friends, you're enjoying the unity, you're having a lot of excitement, and that's it. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Sagittarius. So this is happening in your 10th house, and this has to do with your career, how you show up out in the world. What do you do out in the world? What are you really known for? And you're going to be really shining brightly, and attracting people. And yeah, just, kind of radiating out in the world a little bit more. But with the sun here, it's like putting a spotlight. How do you want to show up out in the world? How do you want to take things to the next level? How do you want to evolve? And really being able to be consciously aware of where you want to direct more of your energy and your essence and your willpower towards going after the things that you want. Do you want more health? Do you want more wealth? Do you want more money? Do you want better relationships? Any of those things, you can be very, you can direct your energy in a very powerful way so you can manifest more of those things. And with Venus, what relationships do you want to attract into your life? How can you up level in relationships? How can you improve your relationships? How can you be more in alignment with love? And how can you update your values to be in alignment with that longer term direction that you want to go in? And yeah, this can be just give you a very powerful awareness and, tune your energy in the right direction to kind of bring more of those things into your life. So the Scorpion came out. That is like majorly Scorpio energy. That is kind of like your life force energy. That's your Kundalini energy, creative energy. You're needing to recognize your power in a certain way. Maybe sometimes we deny our power because we don't want to allow ourselves to really step up and be great out in the world in a certain way. But your power wants to be recognized to really go after that deeper soulful fulfillment that is like that passionate direction. It is like where your soul is calling you for more power, for that deeper transformation, to embody more of your essence out in the world. Because, yeah, Angel of Love came out. There's a way that you can attract more love into your life. You might be receiving just appreciation in general, but it's time to follow your heart because this is showing you empowerment. Empowerment, the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are connected through the same source. So yeah, your heart is calling you in a certain direction and you're feeling it very intuitively. And once you kind of follow that, you're going to develop the courage. You're going to be like, oh, this is why I got that nudge. And you'll meet a person, or you'll get an opportunity, or you'll get the right information, something like that, where it's like, duh, listen to your heart always. And this is where it was calling you. So, because the heart actually is in touch with the field of everything and everyone. We're actually all always communicating to each other all of the time. And, our heart has that knowing of that, it is directly connected to the field in a way more powerful way where we're all communicating to each other. And, yeah, that's why you got to listen to your heart, because it'll take you to opportunities in a fun, easy way. And that's the thing. Circle of eternal joy, timelessness, dance of life. Yeah, you're kind of getting into the dance of life, and you're realizing that following your joy, following your passion can kind of lead you to exactly where you need to be, that you didn't even know where you needed to be. But when you go there, you'll feel it in your bones. You'll feel it in your bones. You'll feel it like in your body, in yourself. And you'll feel like you're just like in the dance of life again, like everything is happening for a reason. You are where you're meant to be. And, everything just, all the magic kind of just flows. Okay, so circle of eternal joy. Timelessness, dance of life. The dove spirit whispers a blissful feeling of anticipation to the priestess of the dance. The pairs The pair faces outward in front of a portal that leads to an energetic realm. This mystical vortex is a place of power where intentions and vibrations reach from the long distant past into the infinite future. The dove is a symbol of eternal spirit, a divine consciousness that moves freely through time and space. Your soul is of the same spiritual nature, and your energy spirals through time. Engage in the dance of repetition and rebirth. Each turn of the dance, each life, every day brings opportunities for joy, and your present joy spins blissful intentions into the fabric of the future. So remember that your soul has to experience both happiness and self-mastery. Learn what there is to learn, but never forget to let your spirit soar. So yeah, you're definitely getting in tune with the higher dimensions of yourself and just higher dimensional information to kind of go in a certain direction. And it's very, very exciting. This card brings profoundly encouraging guidance. Your life is eternal, and you are always connected to the bliss of your spiritual perspective, no matter what you may You're always connected to the bliss of your spiritual perspective. No matter what you may be going through, know that you can still find happiness, purpose, and understanding in the life, or understanding in the dance that is your current life. Oh my gosh. Okay, one sec. Okay, almost done. There may be a literal message as well, a suggestion to dance more, perhaps to take dance classes, and to find joy and movement in music. There might also be a party coming up, maybe even a wedding for you or someone you know. Remember to find your bliss in the little moments. Let yourself dance, laugh, sing, and enjoy. Affirm, I live in a vortex of joyous energy. I listen to the beautiful music of life and dance to my soul's sweet songs. So I think there's a lot of life force energy that wants to be released. And, somatics also helps you release that life force energy too. Because maybe there's just some blockages in it that has been stopping you from really being able to hear those urges. Because when you get the life force energy moving, the Kundalini moving, you become more sensitive to those instinctual feelings to go in a certain direction. And what else was I going to say? One sec. One second. I almost said it twice, but I forgot. Oh yeah, we are at the convergence of timelines right now. And you might be super, super, super sensitive to it actually, because you're a little bit more sensitive to energy usually. So you are getting information from the past, from the present, from the future, from all different versions of yourself in different dimensions and, higher aspects of yourself. So you can be receiving a lot of information right now. And the best way to be attuned to that information is to kind of be a little bit more lighter, to flow a little bit more freely, to kind of loosen up and dance and follow your passion, follow your excitement. But Scorpion, let me read this too. Passionate, competitive, tends towards isolation. No. Okay. I liked my thing of the Scorpion. All right, Sagittarius, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio, and I hope this was awesome for you.